Someone says one sentence to you. Not even an insult, really. Just a comment. "Oh, you're still doing that?" And for about 2 seconds, nothing shows on your face. You might even smile. But underneath, something already went off. Your chest gets warm. A comeback starts writing itself in your head, better than anything you'll actually say out loud. And that night, lying in bed, you can recite that sentence word for word, more clearly than anything else that happened to you all day. If that's ever been you, and it's been me, this one's for you. Because what fires in those 2 seconds isn't a character flaw. It's a system doing exactly what it was built to do. Here's the assumption almost everyone starts with. People get offended because they secretly feel worthless. Low self-esteem, insecurity, a fragile ego. It's in half the parenting books ever written. In 1998, psychologists Brad Bushman and Roy Baumeister actually tested it. They measured people's self-esteem, had a stranger insult something they'd written, then gave them a chance to retaliate. Self-esteem predicted almost nothing. What predicted retaliation was a favorable opinion of yourself getting directly challenged. What the researchers called threatened egotism. Society calls it thin skin. The research calls it something closer to threatened self-regard. Not self-hate. Self-love, under attack. So why does a throwaway comment register as an emergency at all? Psychologist Mark Leary has an answer he calls sociometer theory. His argument, self-esteem was never a trophy. It's a gauge, reading, in real time, how valued you appear to the people around you. For most of human history, quietly losing status in your group wasn't an inconvenience. It could be fatal. And the gauge isn't balanced. Losing standing registers faster and harder than gaining it ever does. That's not oversensitivity. That's the alarm doing its one job. Something else happens in that same 2-second window. Researchers Clayton Critcher and David Dunning found that under threat, your working self-concept, the mental inventory of everything you are, all loaded and available at once, constricts. Whatever's being criticized swells to fill nearly the whole frame, and everything else about you goes quiet. You're not thinking about 10 years of work, or the people who love you, or the thing you're actually good at. For that minute, you are only the criticized part. That's not weakness. That's what a threatened brain does to everyone. Here's a useful way to hold all of this. The psychologist William James argued, back in 1890, that your sense of self was never just your body. It's everything you've come to call mine. Your work, your name, your people, your reputation. You've drawn a fence around a piece of the world and labeled the inside of it me. Offense is the alarm mounted on that fence, which means how loudly it goes off was never really about the other person. It's a readout of how much land is inside your fence and how close to the wall you happen to be standing. Now, here's where it's worth being careful, because understanding the alarm isn't the same as saying every reaction it produces is fair. Hostile attribution bias is real and well documented. Once you've decided a comment was meant as an attack, retaliating stops feeling like retaliation and starts feeling like justice, even when the person meant nothing by it. The alarm explains why the heat shows up. It doesn't mean the sharp reply you send back, or the friend you go quiet on for a week, was the right call. The signal is involuntary. What you do with it isn't. So the advice everyone gives, just don't take it personally, doesn't work. And now you know why. The heat arrives before the thought does. Telling yourself not to feel it is like telling yourself not to flinch at a slammed door. What actually helps starts before the moment, not during it. Widen the fence in advance. Invest real time in more than one domain of your life, so no single comment can ever fill the whole frame. And in the moment itself, name 2 true things about yourself the comment didn't touch. Not as a pep talk, but because it puts back exactly what the threat crowded out, which is what Critcher and Dunning's research found actually reduces the defensive reaction. Separate the sting from the verdict, too. Does this hurt? And is this true? Are 2 different questions, and most people answer them as one. Feel the sting. It's allowed to ring. Just don't let it vote on accuracy until you've had a day to actually check. None of this means you'll stop feeling it. The alarm doesn't switch off, and you wouldn't want it to. It's the same system that makes you care about people at all. What changes is the size of the land around it. The exact same sentence that used to hit a wall 2 feet behind you now lands somewhere out in the middle of a much bigger property. You still notice it. You just don't have to defend the whole fence over it anymore. So of everything here, the shrinking, the borrowed ruler of a stranger's opinion, the old wound a comment landed on, or the single pillar your whole identity's been resting on, which one is yours? Tell me in the comments. And if this made a 2-second reaction finally make sense, follow Own the Room for more of this.